Hi, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries tonight. I just actually started this intro a couple minutes ago, and I'm trying to dance around a name of a person. And actually, my husband and I just got a chuckle because I started the show trying to cover up the name with David, and it wasn't working. I kept saying the name, so no one's going to know. His name is Scott, okay? Welcome to the jungle. This is a show I promised would be a good one, and I deliver when I say it's going to be a good one. So, Scott. Wow, I can say his name. Scott is like a C-list actor. This is the well, I was 18, so whatever, it was mid 80s, before my marriage, which is sort of the twist to the end that's quite sad. But Scott was an actor in a class, very prestigious class, and prestigious teacher, as I mentioned. And I got Eve to be with me, and it was a very, very tight, very emotionally charged seminar type class. It wasn't like going for coaching or, I mean, you had to commit to like a semester of this very famous director teacher, who I won't name because then we're going to get jumbled up in names, and I don't need to use her name, so let's forget about her. So we were kind of thrown into this, kind of very sensitive, emotional acting seminar. This C-list actor named Scott, who was straight for all intent and purpose, and actually I know my way around. And there are varying degrees of straight. Let's put it that way. It's a science, and we won't get into it. Maybe a show. Anyway, so for all intent and purpose, Scott is straight. But I fall in love with him. What can I say? I mean, not like the love of my life, but I fell so hard for this guy. You have no effing idea. I wanted to drive into a tree one night because it wouldn't go my way. And I was pissed because I was used to getting what I wanted. It wasn't given to me, but I got it. Anyway, usually. Most of the time. Let's not go into numbers. So I fell madly in love with this Scott. And although we weren't doing a scene together, we, like you commiserate with the other actor who's in the class and, talk about like, how's your scene going and blah, blah. And he lives in Burbank, and he's got one of those like apartment, like, it's kind of like condo living apartment, like extended stay kind of something or other, like for actors that don't really have furniture, which he didn't. He had nothing actually in this apartment. I don't. Why did he have this apartment? I don't even know. I guess he had to have. Oops, excuse me. I guess he had to have a base of operations of some sort. Anyway, okay. He also had like his parents or something were way, way, way in bum f Egypt, like North Valley, which is another sort of sensational little moment there. But anyway, so I'm in love with this guy named Scott, and he's a C-list actor, and we're in this class, and we have these moments where and then we become really friendly. Of course, Sean, becomes like the best friend of like the crush that he wants to drive into a tree over. That's Sean. So I get more and more madly in love with this guy. I can't see straight. Thank God the class is over because I'd never be able to like, function quite literally because it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, you guys. I mean, I was only 18. So Scott was 6'4". He looked like Adonis. His body was an Adonis body. He was 6'4". He had huge, bright blue eyes. And he was blonde. uh, and he was ash blonde, which was a weakness I had. My two weaknesses were ash blonde hair and screwed up teeth, like those ones that are pushed in and the canines come out. Anyway, so here he is in his 6'4"-ness, and I'm like woozy, it's like, let's go to the bank. It's like I can't do anything with him. I'm in the bank. I remember Bank of America once. I can barely stand up. I'm not concentrating. I'm staring at him. Then goody, he takes me to the valley, to this friend, parent, whatever, whoever, sister, I don't know, someone's house. And, oh, he decides that he needs to change in front of me. And he freeballs it. So I have to stand there as I had sat in his apartment against the wall, like literally clawing at the carpet, like, yeah. Oh, really? Meanwhile, my lungs are through my heart. I can barely breathe, literally, I mean, I felt like that around him. I was like swoon, like constant state of swoon. So so he decides, free ball, and he's going to change right in front of me. And at this point, like I'm in semi coma because now, the whole party is joined. you know, so, um, and they weren't twigs and berries, I'll tell you that much, honey. I fall more and more madly with this straight guy. And guess what? Poor Scott has a girlfriend who is like, she's like, the fiance. Like, I mean, we're all only like 19, but she's definitely the girlfriend. Let me tell you. So, I'm busy like spinning my wheels thinking some straight guy's gonna fall in love with me. Story of my life, like, oh, just like that old bromide, like, the girls say, oh, I can make him straight. Well, I wasn't out to make him gay because I like the straight ones. But, I wanted to be their experiment, like, that they remember on their deathbed or something. So, so he's already changed in front of me. I'm fainting, and then he's dragging me around town. He has a job at the studios that he does on the sly. Um, and he drove like a maniac. Oh my God, you guys, he would get in the left turn lane, and when the light would go, he would jump ahead of all the cars. Next time, left turn lane, jump ahead of all the cars, because he was used to getting around town for the studios. So, where was I? Oh, so I'm madly in love. I'm all over. I'm pawing on him. I have my first apartment in Laurel Canyon when I was 17. $400 a month. I lived, well, anyway, with an actress, old actress friend of mine upstairs in her home. Very, very, very private. So he's sleeping over, and I'm like, delirious, and he's not toying with me, but Scott had a great affection for me. It was just misplaced. It was a bummer actually for him that his friend had to inconveniently, like, obsessively fall madly in love with him. It was very inconvenient. I'm a nice guy and I'm a good friend, but if I'm madly in love with you, and delirious, you got a problem. So now I'm like territorial imperative over him. I want him staying in my apartment. I'm pawing all over him. The guy, poor thing, like absolutely pours kerosene on the flames because one night he decides to teach me how to kiss properly. Oh, good idea, Scott. So I'm about to jump off the world for you, and you now want to teach me how to kiss. Great. Way to screw with my head. So we're in bed, and he's teaching me. Actually, he did teach me how to kiss, to be honest with you. And I'm not joking. I would glom on during a kiss, right? Well, not always. I'd been to the rodeo a few times by then, as we know. My book's coming out. So he's teaching me how to kiss, like, how you kiss, like you don't like go like rah, whole hog. There's a tender touch kiss, and then you go in, or a couple, and so I'm like, bleh, and he's like, no, little this and a little. And I'm like, oh great, So now I'm completely half out of my mind, and guess what? So she gets a little irritated, not irritated, but it was some kind of like his girlfriend. It was like there was no like competition feeling. She was sort of amused. That's the word. She was amused by the whole thing. Why? Because she was stunning. She had a perfect body. She was petite. And guess what? She liked to pick him up at my apartment naked in a Porsche. So how can I compete with that? Okay, she's gorgeous. She's got a perfect body. She's in her Porsche waiting for him to leave me, whatever that was, and jump into her Porsche, like pie gone wild. Whoa. So anyway, that was just completely emotionally disastrous for me. It got worse. I decided to invite him and her over to my house, the house that was supposed to be mine, that I was not living in, paying rent elsewhere, so she could have the mortgage, whatever. And that was a disaster because then they're both at the table. She's amused, he's like whatever, and I've caked myself full of Chanel foundation and curled my hair in the bathroom so I'd be like the perfect host, and I was like like something scary and very agitated. Why would I do this to myself? Story of my life. I invite the guy over for dinner with his girlfriend who drives naked in a Porsche. Good idea, Sean. You're not going to want to have body issues and pour into the bathroom, put curlers on and foundation. Why am I telling you guys this? My husband doesn't even know this story. Anyway, so it all goes like completely south of south. If that's possible at this point, as you've heard, and can well imagine. So it ends really kind of sad because he had the fondest affection for me. I went insane and fell in love with him. The girlfriend was amused in her Porsche. Pie Gone Wild. I couldn't compete with that. So there's this separation. You know, I went through this 100 times. I can't handle the friendship anymore because I'm in love with you or whatever. Usually the straight ones. So there's this parting this parting of the ways that I'm oh so used to, and we don't see each other, and we don't see each other, and we don't see each other. And I'm on Franklin and Cahuenga, and he's going north up to the valley, and I am making a left turn, and ironically, remember left turn lane jumping, and I'm waiting there in my left turn, and he in his orange VW, those old style VWs, comes peeling around right in front of me, hanging out the window, calling my name. And I see him and he sees me, and we're hanging out the window, and I say, Scott. I said, Scott, I'm getting married. So he was happy. He was really happy. I could see he smiled bigger than I'd ever seen him because he was happy that I was happy. And I was headed straight to hell, man. You know, hell on wheels. That's where I was headed. So sorry for the interruption there. So that's me and Scott. And I hope he's happy. I hope he married her. I hope he got the Porsche. I hope they got a new Porsche and had kids and are happy now, and he's watching this and flattered. I don't know. So thanks for joining me for this weird show. I promised you it was going to be a whopper. Well, there you go. Have you ever seen that before? Thanks for being with me. And I will see you tomorrow, actually, with an interview that I have to prepare for now. And it's a good one. I go way back with her. So, okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, whatever that means anymore. Bye.